and welcome to Blockchain Gaming World with me, Jon Jordan. And we're back with EOS Knights. So EOS Knights is a blockchain game, mobile game, based on the EOS blockchain. So a lot of the problems I've had with this game are based around the EOS blockchain rather than the game. But we're going to try and get around those problems. So that's the point of this video. We're going to get involved in some staking. We're going to up our stakes. So anyway, just to show you how the game works, it's an idle game. So basically, every time you come back in, your guys have died. So there's the EOS Knights. In this case, you have 3 Knights, a Knight, an Archer, and a Mage. So the 3 you have. You have to buy them. You have to spend some EOS getting them. To buy those, it costs about 1 EOS, which at the moment is about $2. Well, 160, I think, last time I looked. Price changing all the time. So let's go into Rebirth. So this is what happens in an idle game is, there we go, so they are reborn, so we can now see the top of the screen there, doing their incredibly exciting gameplay. It's an idle game, I'm being slightly facetious. In an idle game nothing happens really. You can just see they just killed one of those 3 goblins and now another one spawned, so you just keep going until your guys die. You can see here slowly they're leveling up, or you can see actually, well, this is their HP bar, so their HP bar is going down. But if we go here, so Eric the Knight is level 6, but he's getting close to leveling up to level 7. So that's kind of like the point of the game, is the kind of leveling stuff. The Archer is level 5 and the Mage is level 5 as well. Also, the metagame stuff is all based around these items. So one thing actually I'm going to try and do here, let's see. So these are the items. There is this annoying thing in the game, which I think is bad game design actually. Most idle games don't do it. It's a bit different for a free-to-play mobile game, not using the blockchain, I know. But so everything here, the materials which you collect, you can kind of see when my knights were reborn, they spawn 3 material. So you get this material and use those material to craft things. So oops, see. So I can't actually craft very much at the moment. I can craft some armor, which is not very useful. I've already got it, but if I had a different selection of things, I can craft them. But you can see here at the top of the screen it says 35 of 36. I've only got 1 spare slot. So actually what happens when my guys die next time, I won't actually be able to rebirth them until I've created space. So I could create space by expanding my inventory by 4 cells. That's going to cost 0.4 EOS, which is not vast amounts of money, but you kind of run out of space quite quickly. You can see there's the material space and there's also the item space. I've got 2 slots here, but I've just increased that actually by I just bought 4 more slots. So it's kind of a weird game. It's kind of annoying. I can understand why the developer is monetizing in that way, because it's not vast amounts of money, but it's just kind of, it's bad game design really, that it's kind of restricting people to get back in the game by then putting barriers in their way. It's just kind of friction. Anyway, I think it's interesting here, and I didn't really know about it when I was playing the game up to this point, but you can actually, so we can see if we can do this. You can synthesize them. So if I choose, if you have 2 of the same thing, so there's this one here, the Rosario, and I can, one of them is equipped, one of them's not equipped, so I should be able to synthesize. So oh, it's the wrong way around. Okay, so let's not do that. So you can see here, one says 44% and one says 47%. So I'm going to have to do a bit of jiggling. So who's got it? No, it's not. It's the Knight, isn't it? So I'm going to swap them over. Yeah, so he's going to get the better one. That's equipped. Okay. So now I can go in, and I think, no, because it's, I have to go into the item and hit that and then synthesize and then choose that one. Let's see if this works. Aha, and what happened? Did it level up? Alright, and now I can level it up. Okay, so now I have to spend some water, which is like the soft currency. So it's going to have me. This is an annoying thing, and not an annoying thing. This is just a part of how EOS seems to work, or how the game operates with the EOS blockchain. You can see here it's doing a smart contract thing. So it's the contract is the EOS Knights EOS contract. The action is item level up from my account. I don't know what the ID thing is. I can whitelist it, so I don't have to do it. So next time I do this action, I don't have to go through this screen. But Let's see if that's going to work. So that is that now level 2 now. I guess that's what's happened. So similarly, I could do it with these ones as well. That's cool. So I could do it with these leather armor. So I could synthesize those. And you see I didn't get that pop-up screen anymore. Again, and I could. So this is the level up bit. This is the bit I got the pop-up screen on. So it's gone through. It's cool. And also I could do it with these ones, even though they're not equipped. So I don't know if they're going to be worth equipping. Let's have a quick look. So I've done those synthesis. You can see now I've gained some inventory spaces as well, which is useful. Now let's go back into the battle. So the armor, I've got the chain armor, or I've got the no, that's crafting. I don't do that. Go away. Or the plate armor that I've just synthesized, but that's actually, you can see it's all in red, so that's actually not any use. So probably what I want to do with that is actually let's see if you need it. Okay, so actually I can equip her with, swap the red robe out for the plate armor. Okay, and that means I can, well, I'll just leave that item in there. Okie dokie. Right, and these ones, these materials, see, I'm going to have to get rid of some materials, but I can't craft anything more half plate armor, which I don't want to do. So I'm just going to trash some of these. So trashing is just basically selling them off. So just get rid of some of the multiples. And then that converts to magic water, which is that soft currency that you saw. You also use it when you level up your players. Okay, so let's go here and have a look at this. So this is the tricky bit with EOS that I always have problems with, the staking. So actually it's interesting. So so you see here at the results, it says we recommend staking more than 0.3 seconds on your CPU. The CPU it's a virtual CPU, how the EOS blockchain works, to play EOS Knights. So at the moment, you can see I've got 3.1 EOS stakes on the CPU, and actually that then transpires to 0.386 seconds. So I've actually even I've got 0.3, and just because the network is actually quite low at the moment, I've actually got enough. So all my stuff's going through. So what I was going to do in this video, as you can see, my total unstaked balance is now 10.2 EOS. So I've actually added another 10 EOS into my wallet, because often when I play this game, you have this situation where you can't get transactions to go through because you don't have enough EOS staked on your CPU. And actually, if you look at the game forum, as I've actually now done, they kind of recommend you have 15 EOS staked. If I wouldn't have quite have that. I'd have 13 staked if I move that 10 over. You can just kind of see. So that was what I was going to do, but obviously now I don't need to do that at the moment. I mean, it doesn't really matter. The staking stuff doesn't matter because you're not using it up in a sense, but you are obviously having to buy it. So it's kind of one of these weird things where it's, the comparison is like gas in Ethereum. It's not gas in the sense that gas is used up. Gas pays the miners for running the EOS, the Ethereum blockchain. Stake is different because EOS works by a proof of stake rather than proof of work consensus. So you can stake stuff and then you have to unstake it. It does take 3 days for you to get it back again, but you are having to buy the EOS in the first place. So in the sense that I've kind of bought about 13.4 EOS. So that's whatever that is. 26, probably $30 probably when I bought it. The price keeps going down. And the other kind of slightly weird thing is what seems to happen is the more transactions you do, you kind of use up your resource. Even though the staking doesn't the amount of EOS you stake doesn't change, the more transactions you do, you kind of use up your ability to use the EOS blockchain. So I think that's, even though sometimes like now I've got more than 0.3 microseconds, no microseconds on the CPU. I should have more EOS staked. So while we're here, let's go through the game and just see. So I can select some pets, and they can go off and do some expeditions for me. So you can see that just takes time. So this is going to take, those two take 8 hours, and I unlock some more pet expedition options when I get to level 7. My knight gets to level 7. He's actually quite close, isn't he? Yeah, he's quite close. Also marketplace. So the marketplace, I can go and buy items that I might need to craft, but it doesn't. It's kind of a bit weird because it doesn't really. The crafting stuff, it only tells you what you can craft in terms of what items you've got. So it's a bit difficult to work out what you need to go and buy, because you don't really know. Yeah, it's kind of the wrong way around. You need to work out what items you want to make, and then come back to see what you want to buy. But you can actually go and buy just items. So you can see here, these are kind of high end. So this one here is 2 EOS. This is a pretty powerful sword. And this one, so the book tells you that this tells you what items can be created, and it kind of tells you what items you need, and you can go to the marketplace and buy them. But it doesn't. If you wanted to craft them, it doesn't really tell you. So it isn't quite joined up properly. But maybe these are it's quite a big range, isn't there? Because it's a different percentage. That's 100% one, so that's 1.25. Whereas the 34% one is just 0. That's quite a big. Yeah, it's a massive range, isn't it? It's like a kind of factor of 1 over 100. Anyway, okay. So there is an idea of what's going on, at least. So I've learned something in terms of EOS Knights, in terms of the synthesis of the of these crafted items, and that's kind of like a leveling up thing, which wasn't really obvious to me. I think the problem, I don't know. I mean, maybe it's my fault for not looking at the forums, but I think a lot of for a lot of good games, you have to it's stuff. You shouldn't be going to look for a forum. You look to a forum for advanced gameplay tactics, maybe, not for basic features. That should be kind of obvious in a more obvious way. But actually, we'll go through the staking. That's what I was going to do, was the staking. In a sense, there's no point doing it because stuff's going through at the moment. But let's do the staking, because that was what I was going to do. So I'm going to stake. To use the chain, you should stake EOS. Resources are allocated as many as you have staked. Staked resources can be refunded. It takes 3 days. So, I should say, the developer's Korean, so their English isn't always so good. So let's stake 9 on the CPU. I don't really understand how the network staking works in the same way, but I'll put 1 on there just to show willing. So let's stake that. So obviously this is another transaction. So there we go now. So we can kind of see the impact that has. So I've added 10, and that's gone from 0.3 to, so it's basically gone up 5-fold by adding those 9. And I guess I've increased I've added times 3. So I've increased my EOS stake by 3, and I've increased my CPU performance by 5. So I don't understand network stuff. Also, there's with EOS there's a RAM thing, but the RAM is what the developer has to handle. So there is this thing about you can buy and sell RAM, but that's a bit complicated for me. So there we go. If I want to unstake it, I can. It says get a refund. It's not really a refund. It's just getting the stake back again. And it takes 3 days, so it's not. I mean, that's how the EOS blockchain works. So anyway, so that's all that kind of stuff. So now, hopefully, my experience of EOS Knights will be a lot better, because I won't have all these kind of problems where I try and do a transaction and nothing happens because I've not got enough staked. Hopefully now it'll all be kind of seamless, which is kind of the whole point of EOS. EOS is a supposedly an Ethereum killer, blah blah blah, whatever that means, but much faster blockchain in terms of how many transactions you can do per second, how fast the block closes. So it should be much more game friendly from that point of view. We'll see. As I say, it's kind of costed, would people? I mean, I suppose with Ethereum games, people are spending $20 buying a crypto kitty or $20 buying an in-game item to even play some of these games. So it's not incomparable, but it is definitely a more complex scenario to get involved in a game running on EOS compared to one on Ethereum. With Ethereum, once you've got MetaMask set up, you're kind of good to go. With Ethereum, it's much harder. Anyway, I'll continue doing videos about EOS Knights because it fascinates me. And maybe at some point, I'm gonna never gonna be a high roller, but maybe I'm gonna get to level 13. That seems to be the goal. Although there are obviously a lot of other people who are massively more powerful. As we can see here, the leaderboard. So I've got the fastest. The highest I've got is level 15, in the floor 15. Sorry, I should say, in terms of the kind of the idle mechanic. This guy up here, or this person, EOS, Chinese, EOS, pretty popular in the East. He's got the floor 14,238, and the person who has been gifted the most amount of EOS in this game has had 1,290. So and the old EOS there, who's number one at the moment, has had 651. You can see here from the flags that this is a game basically being played by people in the East. I mean, there's a Frenchman there, or French person, I should say. I guess that is the Dutch flag, but the developer's South Korean, and we've got a lot of Chinese. Oh, there's a Swede there. So anyway, I'll keep plugging away. I will make sense of it in the end. So thanks for watching. This is Blockchain Gaming World with me, Jon Jordan, where we play blockchain games, try and make sense of them. Sometimes takes longer to make sense of some games than others. But if you're interested in blockchain games, please do subscribe and write comments and tell me what you think. But thanks for watching this video, and hope to see you again soon.